What's going on, everyone? Kurt Weidner here in the Team Animal Training Compound, and I got a product review. So today what I want to talk about is the Rep Fitness Functional Trainer. This is the FT5000. This is their higher end model. Rep Fitness makes two functional trainers. I honestly don't know what the lower one is called, but this is the FT5000. I got this sometime last summer. It was probably July or something. I had a large order from Rep Fitness. I've gotten a lot of stuff from them. Overall, really like their stuff. I didn't actually put this together until the week of Thanksgiving because we were waiting for the building to be ready. So it sat in a bunch of pieces in the house, and then finally put it together at Thanksgiving. So this is now mid-April. It's gotten 6 months of use now, and I wanted to kind of give my honest feedback on it. Overall, I'm very pleased with the product. I shopped around and looked at different functional trainers, but decided that this is the one that I wanted. In this review, I'm not really going to discuss the different things that you can do with a functional trainer. If you're looking at functional trainers, you've already made probably the decision as to whether or not you want one. There's a lot of stuff you can do with them, and you can look all that stuff up. This is more about a comparison between functional trainers and the things I might like or not like about this particular one. So let's get into it. All right, so first of all, when I got this thing, it came in a large crate. We actually had to take it out of the crate from the UPS truck because you couldn't even get the crate on my truck. There was 1,000 parts wrapped in bubble wrap, and before putting it together, I was like, good God, what this is gonna be like all day. Actually, I was very pleasantly surprised. The directions were easy to follow, and this piece is really relatively easy to build. There was no problems. I think if you're at all mechanically inclined, you could figure it out. Secondly, like pretty much all Rep stuff that I've encountered, very well built. So the frame, there's basically two main pieces. You see this piece here and this piece here that are linked together with two cross beams. When I had to stand these things up, I'm a relatively strong guy, but this was not light. These pieces are heavy duty steel. I'm impressed with the overall the sturdiness and the way it's built. When you put this together, figure out where you want it, because you are not going to want to move it. Even without the weight stacks on, this thing is heavy as hell. It's wherever you build it, you want it to be. You don't want to ever have to move it again. So, very well built, very sturdy piece of equipment. Another thing that we quickly noticed about it in using it is the weight is very true. I would almost say that the weight is humbling. I've used a lot of functional trainers. I look at the last two gyms, and it'd have a stack that says 200 pounds on it, which was likely a 2-to-1 ratio. At most, it might have been 100. When you can sit there and do cable curls or tricep push downs, and you can do the whole stack for 15 or 20 reps, you got to question how true that weight really is. Just to give you an idea, right now I have this on 22 pounds on each side. So if I were going to do a cable fly with this, okay, I actually can feel a good amount of resistance. That feels way harder than if I was doing a dumbbell fly with 25-pound dumbbells. All right, I'm getting a lot of tension. Most functional trainers, if you put it on 22 pounds, it would fly out in front of you. It wouldn't even be enough to keep you. You put any resistance in, you're almost going to fall forward because there is none. We actually measured with a fish scale, just out of curiosity, a few minutes ago, and that 22 pounds weighed in more at like 28 on both sides. It was even. So I think that's a good feature, the fact that this is actually true weight. You go to do tricep push downs. When you get to the upper end of the stack, you can actually feel it almost wanting to lift you up. Like you don't have enough body weight to get leverage over it. So it's actually hard to go, to the upper end of the stack. Whereas, most functional trainers, you can sit there and do the whole stack and hammer out 20 reps, and it's BS. So, I think that's a good feature, the fact that the weight's that true. Price point, and this was a big one for me. I shopped around and looked at all kinds of equipment. new, used, different options, different brands. This one had what I wanted, but also, I mean, I don't remember the exact price. It was probably in the vicinity of about $19.50. It was under $2,000. I know that. You can look at other big brands that are in a lot of your fancy gyms, and I even saw used ones that are, you know, I got this new, but I saw brands that were, you know, commercial brands used and like upwards of 3,000, 3,500, and I didn't see that they were in any way better than this. So honestly, as far as bang for your buck, what you're getting, I don't think that you can beat this. I mean, the quality is as good as anything else I've used in a functional trainer, and the price in some case is like, you know, 2/3, maybe a half of other ones. So, you know, you're not going to do better. The only unfortunate thing is that, like a lot of other rep stuff, is it's, you know, not in stock. I mean, they've had trouble over the last year with keeping things in stock, but that's not specific to rep. Every single company, I mean, Rogue included, they're having a lot of issues with stock. So, I mean, just getting exercise equipment is not easy over this past year because it's in such high demand. But I don't think you can go wrong with this piece. You saw me a second ago kind of adjust from top to bottom. The adjustment is extremely smooth, you know, no issues there. So I mean, it's you know, it's very smooth, very well put together, functions really well. I think it's very equal side to side, no problems there. There's a couple minor issues, you know, and this is just me being very nitpicky. One thing I would have liked to see, and this would be my suggestion to Red. If you look back here, you see these little things that you can hang stuff on. So these are like, I don't know, maybe an inch and a half. I feel like they kind of chinched here. There's only 3 on the top and the bottom. There's probably room for at least 4 or 5 across. And I would have liked to see hangers that come out at least 3 inches so you could put a lot of stuff on them. We have a lot of stuff to hang off of, and there isn't enough room to put them on here. They're not long enough, and there's not enough of them. So I think that they could really improve that. It wouldn't take much. You're not talking about much material. You just weld on, you know, some pieces that are 3 inches long so that all of your cable attachments you can hang on the back of it just to keep it neat. So that's a very minor issue. The other thing, it's a little bit more of an issue, and that has to do with the height. So I'm not a tall guy. I'm about, you know, maybe 5'11", maybe a shade under. If I reach up, my hand's going well above the top of these pull-up bars, okay? So if you have somebody that's really tall, like over 6 feet, they're going to do pull-ups, they're going to have to actually, like, bend their knees so that they don't hit when they come down. The other, you know, that comes into issue if you're doing something from the top, like let's say you're doing a tricep push down. Ideally, where this starts, I'd actually want this to be higher up, okay? The starting point should be higher, and it could have been, you see where they top this off here, if this, you know, guide rod was inside the wheel, it could have gone all the way up to here, and there could have been another adjustment up. They would have just had to move this out a little bit. And I think it would have been better because, you know, the tension would start higher and you'd have a better angle. If you look at the bottom here, the bottom hole is here. And so let's say you're doing a curl, you know, from the bottom, this changes the angle quite a bit, all right? I want that angle to be a little more direct. I think this should be able to go all the way down. Again, those are some minor things, and I actually thought, you know, if I wanted to, and I haven't bothered to do this, I could jack the whole thing up and put it on top of, like, you know, some 4-inch heavy-duty pieces of wood just to give a little bit more height. But, you know, if I were rep and I was looking at ways to kind of fine-tune this machine and really make it even better than it already is, those are a couple things that I'd change. I'd put, you know, some bigger hangers in the back, and I'd adjust these posts so that, you know, you can bring this lower on the bottom and higher on the top, and make the actual machine, I would say, I think it really needs to be about 8 to 10 inches taller, you know, just so that I can't reach above the pull-up bars. Now, the other thing I forgot to mention as far as the pros, and this is one of the reasons I chose this machine specifically, I love all the different pull-up options. As you can see, you have all different types of angles. You know, you can go pronated, you can go supinated, you can go neutral, a lot of different angles. I like to do pull-ups at different angles. I don't always do them the same way. It kind of depends what I'm trying to target. But having all these different options is awesome, and that's built in. That's as is. That's not anything extra. So that's really all I got on this particular machine. Like I said, for the price, I really don't think that you can beat it. I'm extremely happy with this purchase. You know, this machine does take up a decent amount of space, but not more than any other functional trainer, and you get a lot out of it. And there's all kinds of stuff you can do with it. So,
is this something that comes as is, or did you have to buy upgrades to get certain things?
No upgrades. This is as is. So everything that you see here, this piece, these are all actually welded in on as is. Okay, so that just all I did was put those bolts in to attach that to, you know, these main pieces. No add-ons. So anyway, guys, I hope you found this video useful. Click subscribe if you have any questions, or if there's anything else that you want to see. Comment below or send me a message. Have a great day, guys.